Hi everyone, it's Sandy Holterhaus, your rec center dietitian. I'm also a health coach and yoga instructor. And as part of our 2021 Live Better Challenge, today we're focusing on the benefits of decluttering. So I'm going to talk about this in two ways. One, physically decluttering, and the second, which we'll focus on, is mostly decluttering the mind. So, why should we declutter our physical area? Well, it's stressful to have a lot of clutter around us. It's a constant reminder of everything that we need to do. So, if you think about a well organized office space or a well organized home, and just knowing that everything's in place, or if you think about having to find places for everything or get organized before you can even start to work. Um, that is why it's a great idea to remove that clutter. And the other benefits, of course, I alluded to here, just reducing that stress and anxiety level about what all you have to do, improving your physical health. So if you have a lot of clutter, most of the time you're going to have a lot of dust as well. And we know that that is unhealthy for people with asthma, but also not healthy for people, that don't have asthma. If you notice sneezing and just taking in that dust into our airways, that's not healthy for any of us. So can improve your physical health by decluttering. And then also, you can improve your productivity. When you have a lot of items around you, it's easy to become distracted and not be able to focus on the many tasks ahead of you. So definitely decluttering can help with that as well. And that's some of the benefits of physically decluttering. And I have the reference there that I used for that. So next I'd like to talk about 10 steps to declutter the mind. And this is from a blog called Daring to Live Fully. So the first one is, of course, decluttering your physical environment, which we just discussed. And that is, just having that constant stimulus of clutter around you is going to be exhausting to you, and not to mention distracting and not good for your physical health. So, secondly, to declutter the mind, you can write it down so you can start to make lists. We know the more different things you have going on in your life, the more difficult it is to remember all those lists that you have going. So, writing it down can help declutter the mind. Keeping a journal can also help. And this is a great idea, especially if you are prone to having a lot of worries or concerns. Um, it can help quiet that inner chatter that's going on in your head. Letting go of the past. A lot of times, a lot of the ideas and thoughts going through our head are related to our past. So, mistakes or choices that we made, could we have made a better decision at that point in time? Or we're thinking about maybe opportunities that we missed, or maybe grievances with family members or friends or coworkers. So, a lot of that is related to the past. So, finding a way to finally alleviate that or get rid of that. And part of that can be done with keeping that journal as well. And then, as the picture shows here, stop multitasking. We know that studies show that focusing on one item at a time can really help you to be your most productive. So, moving on, number 6, limit the amount of information coming in. So if you're constantly watching the news or on social media, you are constantly having input, and this can really start to drain you, wear you down, and especially if you don't have or not using any outlets to offset or outlet some of that information. So just think about limiting the amount of time you're spending watching TV, engaging in social media, and then really just try to focus on the material that you learned that's relevant to you and let go of the rest of that. being decisive. So you can use a simple pros and cons sheets for easier decisions. If you have more difficult decisions to make, you might want to try the WRAP method, and you can look that up online. But I will just go through the 4 pieces of that here quick. W is for widen your frame of reference. So the narrower we focus in on the problem, the more focused we are, we're not seeing the big picture. So, instead of saying to yourself, I need to quit my job, maybe the question you should be asking is, how can I improve the job that I am in? How can I make that better? The second part of WRAP is R, and that's reality test. So find someone that you trust and kind of bounce your ideas off of them to make sure that you are, kind of living in reality and facing the reality of your situation. A stands for attaining distance. So either a little time and physical distance from the problem, or maybe just, trying to unwind or do an activity that you enjoy that can help reset your brain and get you to think in a different way about the problem that you're facing. And then P stands for prepare to be wrong. And that's something we often don't think about when we're making a decision. Are we going to have regrets about that decision? And, what is your contingency plan if you're not happy with the decision or choice that you make and you can't change it or do anything about it? So making sure that you prepare to be wrong in your decision and knowing that that's okay. Number 8 is putting routine decisions on autopilot. So if there are things you can do going about your day, so planning ahead for meals, knowing what you're going to wear the next day, like the day before, the night before, any daily routines, maybe, even bigger items or things that you might need to talk about with, a family member, such as, what charities you want to donate to. So know those in advance. So when you're hit up by other charities or people that want part of your time, that you already have a focus on and know what decisions you're going to make there. Number 9 is prioritize. And once you write down that list of priorities for you, just making sure that you're spending and focusing your time on those items that are of highest priority to you. It is often easy to get roped into doing some of the easier items or things that may not be as high a priority for you, but make sure you're focusing on those items. And then number 10, learn to focus in the present. So being aware, and some of the things that you can do for that are, meditation and breathing and any type of practice that brings you into the present moment and helps you to be centered and aware. So that's all I have for you on decluttering today. Take care, and I'll talk to you next time.